So contrary to the last one, I didn't realize that it stopped recording. Here are like the top 5 complaints though, even though I love this bike and I talk so well about it. Here are the top like 5 things I just don't like about this bike, okay? I don't mind them, but if they could be changed, that would make this an astronomically better bike. It would make it the bike, you know? Like, with me being tall, I'm 6'3", so me being so tall on this thing, I feel like I'm crunched when I'm riding. Like, I feel like I'm like this the whole time. And I've been on a lot of 600s, and granted, they have a little bit more of an upright seated position. This one just like forces you to like lean into it. This one forces you over. And it's not that I don't mind it, it's just such an aggressive angle all the time. Like if I'm just cruising, I want to be able to like cruise and be comfortable. But with me being so tall, it's like I'm just like this. Like I just look awkward. Like I'm like pterodactyling or like T-Rexing, you know? It's just a lot. And then when I go full tuck, I literally rest my arms on my legs. Like it's that tight for me. And I know that I can get some adjustable rear sets or something like that, and it'll fix the issue, but that just brings my legs down more. It doesn't fix the fact that I'm always gonna be hunched over. I'm always gonna be in the bike. And I mean, again, I don't mind it. I understand why, but it's just such an aggressive angle. I don't know, man. I don't know. Second thing is I said in the last video, it just gets hot. I've never ridden a bike that gets this hot. I've done all of the recommended things that all the Yamaha gurus, the Yami gurus and everything have told me and like said to do, but it's just such a hot bike. And it's nice in the winter. It's not so nice in the summer. Like in the winter, it gets around like 172, and it's okay. That's comfortable because it's already kind of chilly. Like right now it's kind of chilly. And riding the bike, it warms me up at a nice pace. Like it's not always burning, but it's not always like cold. It's the perfect hybrid. But in the summer, when I'm riding around and I'm in gear and all that kind of stuff, this thing is like 400 degrees. I don't understand what it is. I don't know what did it. I don't know how to fix it. But it is a very, very, very hot bike. Very hot bike. Very hot bike. Number 3, how short this thing is. All right, I've raised it up some to kind of match me for how tall I am, but like I could flat foot this thing even before I raised it up. Right now it's perfect, but before the bike was like right here. Like it was like a whole 4-inch difference to where I am. Like now I'm kind of comfortable, and like you can see what I mean about the foot position. But like look at that. How do you even, like, I just feel like I'm crunched, you know? Like, no. I've been on several 600s. I've owned a lot of bikes. So for everybody that's going to come at me and be like, oh, it's just you, da-da-da-da. It's not just me. Everybody I've ride this bike, they all say the same thing. They all say the same thing about this. It's just ridiculous. But now that I've raised it up some, that complaint kind of goes away because it's like, it fixes itself if you just kind of adjust it, which is understandable. But when I first got it, that was one of my biggest complaints because I look kind of silly. I mean, I was standing up and the bike looked like a Grom under me. I quite literally was riding a Yamaha Grom at that point. You know, I don't know. And like the one thing that all Yamaha owners say is it starting, and I have not had any issues with that yet, but it's starting to get there slowly. Now it starts every time, but I am slowly getting to that I don't want to start point. And that's number 4. Yamahas, they don't really tell you, from my experience with this one, they don't really tell you when something's going wrong. They don't really tell you anything. Most bikes, they'll like get real sluggish at one point, or like they'll start jerking at one point, or you know, they might be hard to start. Yamahas are just hard to start. So I can't even say that that's creating an issue or that there is a pending issue coming. So it's like, it makes it really, really, really hard to guess what is going on or what is wrong, you know? And this one, which I've seen other R6s, unfortunately there are no R6s out here for real. I've only seen 4 in the wild. ever out here. So it's like, it makes it kind of hard, but they all have like this rattle and they're just like, oh, that's the Yami rattle. But like, why is that a thing? Why is things that sound like problems just normal things for Yamahas? That just, I don't get that. I don't get that. Like, I start it when it's cold and it's like this like crack, 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 like crunching noise. And every dealer I've taken it to, every person that I've let listen to it, that own Yamahas and stuff like that, they're like, oh, it's normal, you know, don't worry about it. But how am I not going to worry about that? That sounds terrible. That's like a bomb in between my legs, you know? Like, I don't understand how normal sounds are normal. That's not normal to me. That sounds like it sounds like a pretty big problem. But she rides with no issues. She still goes as fast as she needs to go. She still does what she needs to do. Like, I mean, she's a great bike, but it's just, she doesn't warn you when something's about to go catastrophically wrong. And that's what I don't like. I don't mind anything else but that. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And like, I don't know. I fixed everything up until this point now in my years of ownership with her. So, I mean, all of the known Yamaha problems are gone, or known Yami sounds are gone, except for the rattle. I don't know. I think it's the clutch basket or maybe the chain. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out though after this season. I'm going to take her down and I'm going to like tear her down and everything and give her a really, really nice refresh, because she is now at almost 30,000 miles. Even though I put 23,000 of those miles on here, it's like, it's just time. I'd rather do it now than when it needs it, because when it needs it, now I got to replace a lot more stuff versus just the one or two things that was needed in the beginning. So I don't know. I just feel like that's a thing. And this thing is hot. Like I said, it's hot. It's hot. I'm gonna have to get off of it because like I can't sit there comfortably. That's why I was sitting over here. Because when I sat up here because it was hot, and I'm sitting over here because it's hot. I don't know. My fifth thing, and it's very trivial. It's very, very, very trivial. And I know it's like one of those things where I don't really have to worry about it, or not necessarily worry about it, but I kind of fit the category. But like the Yamaha community, okay? So like the Yamaha community is very, very great. Don't get me wrong, it's great. But then there's those people that's like, oh, I got a Raven, I got a S, it's like, okay, I mean, it's an R6. We all got the same bikes. Yours is a little bit different, yours is a little bit different, yours is a little bit different. But we all got the same bikes. Like, you're acting like because you got a Raven, you got the Ducati of Yamahas, you know? It's like, come on, man, it's just a bike. It's all the same. But then they get on their high horse on why theirs is better because it's a better model and all this kind of stuff. But in reality, I mean, there's no real difference. You know, like, in my opinion, they're the same bikes. Like, the small things that make them different are so small that the average everyday rider who owns these things won't even notice. Like, the normal people that get these things just to ride, just to enjoy themselves, just to hang out and all that kind of stuff, they won't even notice half those things that are even different on those two bikes. Like, I don't understand why you feel the need to try and flex on us because you have this or that or this. And like, it's not even a difference on it. So I'm not gonna go on a tangent about that, but those are my 5 reasons, like 5 things I just don't like about this bike. I mean, granted, they could be a little bit better, but and I get it, they're like petty things. But if I'm gonna be riding this thing all the time, I gotta be comfortable, I gotta like it. I mean, I love this bike. It's a beautiful bike. I've never had any complaints or any strife or anything for it. Everybody loves this bike. I love this bike. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful bike. But those little things, man, like once I fix all those things, which I can't fix the heat thing, it's just a hot bike, it's just hot. But it'll just be perfect, it'll be perfect. Like, this is gonna be a bike that I keep for a very, very, very long time. I can tell I'm gonna keep this bike for a long time. I can tell. I can 100% tell that this bike isn't going anywhere.